Welcome to the Garage One podcast with your hosts Ross Smith and Saher Saeed. Your only choice for insightful commentary on cars, real estate, and racing. Buckle up and let's get rolling.
Recording. Hey, gearheads and race fans, and welcome to the first episode of the Garage One podcast. We are super excited to be here. My name is Ross Smith, and this is Saher Saeed, my co-host. And what is this?
I don't know. You dragged me in here and you tell me to sit.
Oh man, it's just like, hey, I want to come. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Let's have a conversation. We talk too much.
We do talk too much. This is gonna be a car culture podcast. We're gonna cover a whole bunch of different things. I mean, everything from what you can do to your garage to make it more fun and cool, and you know, the things that you can do, and you know, all the way from car culture here in Houston area. If you don't know, we're here in Houston. Things we're doing with Supercar Showcase and some of the cool meets we're having, but above all, the racing, and we're gonna have lots to say about the racing.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, everybody has their opinions, right? So this is not going to be a specific F1 podcast, right? We're going to talk about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about, you know, endurance racing and rally and MotoGP and a lot of different things. So to kick this off, why don't you tell the folks a little bit more about yourself and why we should listen to you?
That's very tough. All right. Saher side, I've been in the Houston area for about 13 years now.
Is it 13?
13-ish, yeah. Grew up in Germany, experienced that world. I was actually really close to the Nürburgring, but 20-minute drive to the Nürburgring. So spent a little bit of time there. And found myself early on in the car community. Just parents, family loved cars and kind of runs in your blood at that point. And you just start ingraining yourself into it and becoming part of it and just becomes life at that point. Yeah. Now I'm teaching it to my girls.
It becomes part of you.
Yeah.
Right? Like it becomes part of your, not necessarily your personality, but like who you are.
And people know that. People reach out because of that, or, you know, ask you questions, knowing you're the car guy, you know?
Yeah.
How about yourself?
That's fine. So here, born and raised here in Houston, Texas. You know, I've lived a couple different places. You know, did a stint in Albuquerque for a while. So yeah, I mean, true Texan, born and raised. You know, I've lost a little bit of my accent, but everyone, when you go back home, it kind of comes out a little bit for Christmas and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I've been in here grew up in Sugar Land. Hometown boy.
Got to tell us more about your licenses, though. You've got more than just a driver's license.
So my claim to fame as far as cars are concerned, I mean, I started from an early age, just like you did. You know, we built cars when we were younger, hot rodding and drag racing and all the things, anything that burned dead dinosaurs, we were all about, right? Like we were having a whole bunch of fun with it when we were young. And so that led me to actually become a mechanic right after high school for a little bit. And then into college, I did some road racing on motorcycles with Weira and CMRA. That tried to kill me a couple of times. So I stopped doing that.
It's part of it. It's part of the fun, you know? If it doesn't kill you, then.
So went to 2 wheels to 4 wheels. And long story in a nutshell, I ended up running NASA Texas for like 4 or 5 years in their tech department. And through that, I was given some opportunities by some individuals to actually go do some national races. So one guy was sick one weekend or something, and they said, hey, you have a lot of experience. Can you come do MotoGP with us? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Of course I'm going to go to it.
I was going to say no to that.
So, and after that, it just snowballed. Now I'm 38 races in between MotoGP, WEC, Formula One, and Formula E, of all things, which I just picked up these last 2 years. And now I have my FIA International Scrutineering license, so I can go anywhere in the world and go work these races.
It's kind of impressive. That is impressive.
And it's awesome. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. I can't say that. I have a driver's license. That's all I have.
Hey, but you're gonna join us at the next.
Gotta try. Yes.
At the 6 hour.
I read through the schedule.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got tired just reading.
It really is. Those things are. I mean, you have unprecedented access. I mean, you get to go where even the sponsors don't get to go. And so I'll give you a story real quick about, I was in Miami for the first Miami race, and we were doing tires. We were scanning the RF codes and all the other stuff, and I had to turn in the scanners. So after the race is over, I walked down pit lane into the FIA garage, And lo and behold, every driver on the grid is sitting there in a circle with their suits half off, trying to cool off and drinking water. And I'm like, what did I
What's
just
going
walk
on?
into? Anyway, again, unprecedented access, but man, it is work. Like,
Yeah.
it's 6 hours in a fire suit in the heat. Like,
That's
it can be
impressive.
rough.
That is
not all
impressive.
glamour.
So, I mean, in general, though, what do you drive now? What was your first car? Let's ask.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
First, oh my God, I didn't want to say what my first car was. The first car I ever got to drive was a maroon Chevy Corsica with about 150,000 miles on it.
Oh,
with
yeah.
an anemic V6 that it couldn't even get out of its own way. And then the parents let me drive their old Oldsmobile station wagon, but it had a 350 in it. I mean, that was kind of cool, you
Yeah.
know? It was a beach
Was that
wagon.
automatic?
Oh yeah. So the first thing we do obviously is cut the exhaust off.
Yeah.
On a station wagon. But yeah, so obviously graduated from there. So right after high school, I bought my first Z28. So I bought a gorgeous medium metallic blue 6-speed Z28, and it was, I thought I was Steve McQueen.
Although he drove a Mustang, but that's fine.
So I've owned probably 7 Camaros up until now. Still have one that's sitting in my backyard on a trailer. But now a C7 Corvette, which I'm doing some motor work to. Total game changer. That car is on a whole another level. Now, it's not on your car level, but it's the best, one of the best cars I've ever driven. Now, I've done a little bit of instructing, and I've gotten to drive Ferraris and stuff like that. I'm not comparing it to that.
Yeah.
But the Corvette, especially the C7, is just on another level.
And it's still a stick shift, right?
Yeah, it's a 7-speed.
Yeah.
So it is just an absolute beast, and I can't wait to get it back together and drive it.
Oh, it's fun.
Anyway, and?
Oh, yeah. So I grew up in Germany, right?
Yeah.
So if you were expecting Chevys and all of that is not going to come. My first car was an Alfa Romeo 156.
156.
Yes.
Okay.
2-liter.
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 Turbo or natural aspirated?
No, it was natural. It had 166 horsepower. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would say I was the coolest guy in school. Everyone else had under 100 horsepower. So I was doing all right. Black leather seats with red stitching. It was the sports model, right?
Nice.
You know, beefy wheels. It was fun. And then went through, I mean, if we have to do a whole episode of everything that I've gone through, but wow.
Quite a few cars.
Yes. All over the place.
And some interesting ones too. That's the thing. That's what I like about what you've done is like you explored the car, like you went back and forth and went and tried different stuff. Anyway.
Just to give an example, I went from like a Maserati to a Fiat 500 Abarth. And then within 12 months after that, I had an F-250 long bed. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It's a range.
There's a whole dichotomy there. Like that's a separation.
But I can give you, you know, talks about each of them. You know,
Right
they were all fun in their own way. But right now it's a Mercedes AMG GTS. And it's getting known out there in the Houston world because of the way it looks and all of the carbon fiber.
It is a car. What's different about it than what you'd see in other cars?
Honestly, I just didn't want to have something too flashy.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I didn't want. Maybe now changed. Well, maybe now if I had a GT3 RS, it would be
right. Would you?
Something. But for the time when I was buying it, it had a great power output. And that comparing that to the price and the performance and all of that, it was just the best deal you can get. Ultimately, to get going back to Porsche, get a Porsche with the same power, same output, et cetera, you're looking at 1.5 to 2 times the value.
It's that car. One of the things I love about that car is it's not as in your face exotic, but man, the proportions on that car, the lines, and it's just such a beautiful automobile.
And then that was really the idea behind it. It's like, you know, something that was even going through time. It was always about 2 things to me, not just the power, but also the looks on the outside. I want it to look, I want to turn around when I walk away, right? And then the cockpit.
You bought the wrong car if you didn't, right?
Yeah, right? And the cockpit. That's what you will see as a driver all day long, right? So this one does have the cool, you know, center console. Everything is driver centered. So that's always a thing. There was a time where I wanted to buy a Q7 Audi and I didn't. And I bought a Volkswagen Touareg because the Touareg on the inside, to me, looked better, you know? So.
And to your point, that's what you're going to be staring at for the next 100,000 miles, right?
Yes. Yeah. Or maybe not.
Yeah, well, maybe 30, 40.
Yeah, that would be extreme.
It's out the door. But that's one thing I feel like Mercedes excels at better than anybody, almost everybody else. I will give Porsche, I like their interiors.
Yes.
They're very well appointed. They're very,
Yeah.
have a crafted feel to them. Almost like if you've ever been in a Pagani or like a Koenigsegg or something,
Yeah.
everything around you feels like it was machined out of a single piece of billet, which it probably was.
It
to be
was,
honest.
yeah.
But that's where I feel like Mercedes really does a great job, is their interiors are phenomenal. They're
Yeah.
just classy.
Not a big fan of the new stuff, especially when it comes to the new
Too many
GT.
screens?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they
I
replaced
figured you were
everything
gonna
with
say
a
that.
screen, and I'm like, that's not. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes just keep it simple. It is a sports car. Keep that DNA, because if you turn it into an iPad, then might as well be
I'm
electric.
glad
at
you
that
said that, because that I feel like a lot of cars are going that way too. It's like less style, more tech, and I
Yeah.
don't know if that's really resonating with buyers. I mean, I know tech is cool and it's fun
Yeah.
and it's easier than having a million dials on the dashboard, but
Hey, talking about dials, switches. The
Yeah.
Ineos is all switches. It
Yeah.
barely has
Oh,
any
yeah.
tech, right? So that's really the balance, and I feel like it's still cool. It's cool to have a switch to toggle, even if it does absolutely nothing.
right. See, but it's all about what you're trying to do with
Yeah.
the car, right? Like the Ineos, which, by the way, if you guys have not looked at Ineos, the Grenadier, that is a cool car.
It's very cool.
Like, it looks like a G-Wagon, but not nearly as expensive, but the interior looks like a freaking fighter cockpit with the
Yeah.
switches and all that. Man.
And you get mistaken for a Defender which, I mean, that's what it should be, right? And
Yeah.
you get mistaken for
Got
one
that
all the time.
small expedition kind of look to it.
If you look at it, a Resto Mod Defender
Yeah.
is 150,000 plus.
Yes.
Ineos, you're in at 70.
Not bad.
It's not bad at all.
It's not bad at all. When a Suburban costs 120,000,
Exactly.
that's a steal.
And
It's a BMW motor.
it
right?
is a BMW motor. A lot of parts are from others, but then it's built from the ground up by Ineos. It's funny too, because being in our business, which we'll
Yeah.
talk about that, you need a car that people will kind of ask you about, trigger a conversation,
Yep.
right? It's easier for us to connect, regardless of what we do for work, if we can connect on a car basis. Brings me to that point too. It's like, Ross, is this all you do? What do you do really do?
Okay, so we obviously don't do podcasts for a living. So, but I own a real estate office here in the Woodlands. Again, going back to I spent 16 years in the automotive industry,
Yeah.
working for Jaguar, Land Rover, BMW, Chevrolet,
Anything that breaks down.
and anything that. Well, I didn't work for Ford.
That was a joke.
So that was my dream, is to go work for Ford. So I
Yeah.
had total job security. So, but I came from the automotive industry with 16 years of experience, everything from turning wrenches to parts and I worked for Harley Davidson for 4
Oh,
years.
wow. I didn't know that.
I worked for Harley Davidson right out of college for like 4.5 years, helped them develop their race program.
Interesting.
Yeah. don't know if you
I did
knew
not know
about
that
me.
part.
So I know the more people are going to start adding this up, they're like, okay, 16, 4. Okay, I'm old, y'all.
He was 2 years old when he started.
So decided that I didn't like the car industry anymore. I love cars and I love automotive everything, but I don't like the car industry as a whole. It's kind of slimy.
Mhm.
Let's just be honest. There are few that are out there, say like Post Oak does a good job. Sewell, love Sewell.
Yeah.
They do a very good job. And almost everybody else is the same, car dealer-esque feel to it. You know what I mean? So I said, I'm out. Made a lot of money for a lot of people. I'm going to go out on my own. So I started real estate.
Nice.
Did really well. Started doing motorsport-related real estate, like the multi-car garage, shops, and all the race folks that I've known from racing for so many years. So I've been having a good time. I did pretty well with it, which is where obviously we met. Out of 38,000 realtors in the Houston area, I'm in the top 15%, and I think you're in the top 10 if I pulled the numbers correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. How'd you get into real estate?
How did I get into real estate? Long story short, I mean, we've always been in different businesses, and for a while it was like, okay, let's do flipping. Let's flip some houses, right? And part of that was,
Everybody got into that for a while. It was like the hottest thing. It was on TV.
let's flip some houses. And at that point, the real estate agent that was helping with that process was an older lady, and she said, I don't want to drive around. Just get your license and do your own thing. She's like, just get your license and do your own thing.
Oh my
And
God. Okay.
I was like, okay, so I'll get my license and just handle that. And first week with the license, I had paper cards, like literally paper, because Office Max messed up my printing.
Oh my gosh.
So they used like not card,
Oh yeah, just like the regular paper.
straight up paper. Had my first client.
Very professional.
Very professional. Yeah.
Very high end.
And had my first client, and then just from there it just became real estate. Okay, we're gonna do real estate and not just
this is actually fun.
yeah. So 12 years later now, I'm in real estate. So you have your ups and downs, and you have a team, and then you don't, and then
Been there.
and now it's like going into more, just taking it to the next level, right?
Yeah.
You gotta at some point take it to the next level. So I feel like right now is the take it to the next level phase, because everyone else is kind of struggling with it.
It is that kind of market. Like it's so wild. I think the National Association of Realtors said that they've lost in the neighborhood of 30,000 realtors nationwide.
Yeah.
Just over the last 2 years. Like it's not easy.
The number is going to keep growing, right? And it's just, you've got a lot of people that just transaction wise have not been able to keep up. So anyways, that really is usually a point where you're like, okay, now diversify into the business that you know the best and go even further. So that's kind of like the point we're in right now. You actually got us into another form of real estate. So
I did.
That
I
just
drug you kicking and
I refuse to answer your call.
It was not. Yeah, that was interesting. That was the garages, Garages of America. So garage condos, garage suites.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it before. Well, the way I stumbled across that was I had a couple of higher end clients that had, these guys were like 10 and 12 cars.
Yeah.
They weren't just like, hey, I've got a couple daily drivers. I need something that, I need some serious storage.
Yeah.
So I couldn't find, like houses with land with a shop, and they didn't want to be that far out. They wanted to be, closer in. It's like, look, dude, I don't want to move. Like my wife doesn't want to move. She loves her house the way that it is, and probably not going to win that war.
Yeah.
So what do you got? So I started looking for other products, and I went to self-storage, and I went to all these other different commercial buildings, and then I found these guys and just literally barked up their tree long enough that the owner was like, okay, come talk to me. What do you got?
Nice.
And obviously not long after that, you and I took over the Houston area and have done fantastic ever since. Cute Katie's only got 2 units left. We've been selling a lot out here in the Woodlands. A very interesting product. Very, very niche, very, but fun at the same time, because the community out here is like, all these things are cool.
Yeah, the lifestyle and all. And honestly, it combines our passions, right? Real estate and cars.
So,
kind of, puts this whole podcast on the same side of that, right? It combines our passions.
Right.
So we'll be talking a lot about real estate, but also a lot to cars.
Yeah.
So that's really the fun part in all of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Combining your passions.
It's been a ton of fun. Basically, we get to go, we kind of get to go to car shows for a living. There's a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of work in there. We do other things that go do other things in car shows. Real estate alone is enough work.
Yeah.
But that's the fun part, is the community and getting to hang out. And that's how Supercar Showcase came along, was the marketing arm of getting all this stuff going and bringing traffic to the garages and creating that community out here, which never would have happened without you had an existing. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, what was the idea? Because you had Electric and Exotics that you were running at the coffee shop. You tell that.
Yeah. So it's about 4 years ago now. Right, I was sitting at a coffee shop and I was bored. Right, being in real estate.
How so many things spring out of boredom.
If you know me, you know I'm going to be at a coffee shop somewhere.
Right.
And I was sitting at one, and obviously real estate keeps you busy, but sometimes you have like off times, and you're like, okay, I need to take my mind off this. Right.
Yeah.
So called one of my friends and I was like, I'm going to open up a car dealership. Just like 4 or 5 cars, just small, right here. I'm going to get a space. And he said, absolutely not. You're already busy enough. You're not doing that. I was like, okay. He was like, nope.
That's awesome.
And then he said, figure something else out. So at that point, I looked around. I'm like, well, this has potential. There's a lot of parking here. Yeah. Owner walks by and I said, hey, what if we did a car show, like a car meet once every month, like on a Saturday morning? And he goes, so here, brother, It's all yours. Just do whatever you want. I'm like, okay, let's get it done.
That sounds like free reign.
Yeah,
nice.
right. And then you sit back and you're like, well, what am I really doing here? Right. This was right after COVID. Electric cars were coming out quite a bit in droves.
Electric car boom.
Right. And they, you show up in an electric car to a car meet, everyone's gonna be like, don't do that. So I was like, let me create a platform for this.
Well, that's what was cool is like there wasn't really a community out there.
Yeah.
You kind of created that.
Yeah. So it was like, let's create a platform. Yeah. Let's see what we can do. And we had a Tesla out multiple times. We had Rivian out. I mean, it just became its own thing. Close with there's actually a Houston-based Tesla Facebook group that's very active. Right?
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the Tesla club.
I mean, I think everything has a Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. So
basket weaving.
So I mean, I'm still great friends with a lot of these people.
Nice.
We go to dinners once in a while, and
get those folks showing up to stuff.
So, but yeah, that was Electrics and Exotics, and hey, best car meets that we did back then. We had 60, 70, 80 cars. It was maxing out the space we were in. Worst one was 3. One of them was mine. So you kind of like go through the struggles establishing something like that.
It's just like everything else. Economy, real estate, it's all cyclical, right?
Yeah.
It comes in waves.
Yeah. So then, when we started with the garages and there was a need to drive, people to them during the car events, we incorporated Electrics and Exotics.
Yep.
Into the car meet.
Right.
And after the first one, it's like, okay, Electrics and Exotics, the name cannot function as it is right now. This is no longer serving the purpose.
You've got probably 90% exotics and 10% electrics. It's like,
yeah, right. So we switched the name to Supercar Showcase, and since then, which is probably a year and a few months now.
Yeah.
I mean, we have just creating events
it's really interesting because we went, especially like the grand opening here.
Yeah.
There was probably in excess of 200 cars out here and 500 spectators.
Yeah.
Like it was cars and coffee level.
Yeah.
I mean, it was wild. It was
and you have to remember, we're in Magnolia, Texas.
Yeah.
We're not in the city.
And our facility is kind of set back quite a bit, and it's not the easiest thing to find, which if you've got a car collection, I guess that's advantageous, to have it set back. But for 200 people trying to find where to park, it's not ideal. But
it took us a while. It took us a while to figure out logistics and how to get the maximum people into the space, after doing that for a while. And that's always the 4th Saturday of the month.
Fourth Saturday.
We decided to expand a little bit more into Houston area.
That's interesting. Let's talk about that for just a second, because the car community here in Houston is absolutely wild.
Yes.
Like there's a website. I can't remember exactly. I think it's Houston Automotive Events or something like that. I can't remember the name of the website. At any given time, there are hundreds of car shows or car meets. Yeah. And by the way, there is a distinction. I didn't even know that. There's a difference between a car show and a car meet. We had some folks get upset because we didn't have trophies and we called it a car show. So my bad.
It's a meet.
It's a meet. But to my point, it's hard to differentiate yourself. Like it's hard to how do you draw that crowd? That you're after.
Yeah. And I get contacted constantly. It's like so-and-so wants to start a car meet and such business wants to do it. And it's great. Ultimately, you have to have a passion for it, know your cars, and kind of have a goal in mind, right?
Yeah.
So we do a lot of ours. It's more of a networking event at that point.
That's exactly what it is. It's way less car meet than it is just folks that want to talk to each other and mingle and
lifestyle.
Hey, what do you do? And how can we network? And
we've had so many people create long-lasting business and personal relationships from.
We have.
Yeah. So it's more that aspect, and I've seen a lot of others that really serve no purpose. Right? It's just a get together, which is great. If it's just a get together, that's perfect. It's all just when you go to the events, what do you expect? Are you expecting a get together where you park and chill, or is it going to be more like an active lifestyle? People are talking, people are communicating about their cars. And a lot of times, what I've seen happen too is they come separate and then they find each other there, right?
Yeah, like somebody texts somebody else and being like, hey, dude, Maven's popping off. You get over here, but that kind of thing.
And now you see it as like we have the Porsche section and we have the BMW section and we have so they kind of all found each other.
Right.
And now they show up together.
So it seems to me, especially just here in Houston, that there's really three types of car meets that have naturally evolved, right? Like you have the really big ones, the ones that like Red Bull's there DJing, you know, the big, everybody comes to that. You got everybody and their mother that's there. Big, huge crowd, right? Then you have the localized that are more centered around a destination, like a coffee shop or a restaurant or something that has good food or beverage or something to offer. You know, Velocity Lounge, something like that. Sim racing. Then you have just like the local car meets that pop it, and a lot of those are charity stuff. Like somebody's trying to raise money for something else, which I love going to those. I'm all about, you know, helping those less fortunate and doing stuff for charity. Come on, guys, throw some few bucks this way, you know, and raise some money for the kids, you know. But it seems like it's those three segments.
You're right. It's each one of them is going to have a mix of folks that go to all of them, right? But then you also have people that will only show up to this. There's a lot of people that will tell me, I'll only be here. Like that's the only one I go to, right?
Because that's their spot now.
That's their spot, right? They're known. They that's where they go. That's what they enjoy. What we realized throughout this whole thing is there's room for so much. People will show up if you do a good job in planning and organizing.
Make them feel welcome, for God's sakes.
Make them feel
we're glad you're here.
Yeah.
Park over here.
Between the lines, which they don't exist because we have them in here. Find the lines that we meet. But that's part of it. You know, it's a great way to be part of the community, right? Hey, we go to all of the Supercar Showcase events, obviously, because we kind of put them together. But we also go to the other ones, right?
We're all over the place.
And to me, it's like supporting each other is huge.
Yes.
And at the same time,
I like supporting other car meets too. I like going and like, you know, say like Cars and Cocktails, like, you know, Troy stuff. I love going to those, supporting those guys. And I like not having to run it.
It's such a relief. It's such a relief. And then you're just staring at them hustling and doing their thing.
I feel like that gives you it makes you a better host.
Yeah.
Because you're going out and just enjoying yourself and going, you know, what do I want?
Yeah.
What's going to bring me back? What's going to make me feel comfortable and go, hey, man, I really want to go.
And see if you have never really been in that world, because I'm meeting people now that just bought a Porsche and you know started showing up everywhere.
I love the new sports car buyers.
You know, I just bought it. I was never in the car scene, and now I am. I have more time in my hands, stuff like that. Big thing that I tell people is know what you're buying, because that's going to be the events that you're going to go to. You know,
I'm really glad you brought that up, because there is some, so out of the three types of events, there's a subcategory, and there's like, you have folks that are just into the classic cars, and they're only going to go, like the Nifty 50s meet.
Yeah.
They're only going to go to the classic car meets. Then you have the exotics and more of the racer, you know, type, you know, deals. And then obviously JDM, obviously you created that own niche with the electrics.
Yeah.
You know, so you have different pockets of these communities of people that are gathered around the vehicle.
Yes.
Which is cool, I think.
It's pretty cool, you know, and then subcategories to that. Clubs that are within the brand specific, right? You got the Porsche Club, the Ferrari Club.
The Lamborghini Porsche Club has like the 356, the tubs, the very early Porsches. They have their own kind of.
It's a club within a club within a club, right? So it's just such a huge community, and we say it's a huge community, but walk into any event right now, it's the same people-ish, right?
Yeah.
You know a lot of them, so it's really one of those funny things, because Houston is such a big city.
It's
right. We're talking about one of the largest cities in the U.S. and
Houston is
the world.
An hour and a half away from Houston. Crazy.
And creating an event and really just feeling that. Yeah, we have those moments when we were, you know, halfway through the events a lot of times, and we just look at each other like, hey, that was a good one.
That is absolutely right, because a couple things about the car meets that are fun moments about car meets. A is when that one car shows that you have it's a unicorn and you have never seen one of those outside of the internet, right?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Second one is, to your point, like oh my God, look at all these folks. Like we have 5 rows of exotics.
Yeah.
I got 3 SF90s over here and 4 STOs, and like I'm just going, wow, this is awesome. That's cool. And the third thing, which I think is the most impactful, is watching, back to your point, watching folks connect, watching folks have a good time and exchanging business cards, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then you feel like you did something.
Yeah.
So
that is fun. We should host more.
We are. We're going to host more. Hey, if you haven't, check out Supercar Showcase on Instagram and Facebook to see where our next meet is. I mean, right now we got 2.
Yes.
We got the one at the garages and Gearheads every 4th Saturday of the month.
Correct.
Then that Sunday, every 4th Sunday of the month, we have an amazing show at Maven.
Yes.
For Supercar Showcase. And yeah, great time. Come on out.
Yeah. We'll be there.
We'll obviously be there because we're running it. But man, please, if you see us out at a car meet, come say something and come up, shake our hand and say hi and tell us about your car. And because we just love cars in general. We love the people.
Want to know about you and about your car?
Yep.
Yeah.
So the other thing that the real passion that we have, that we share besides cars, is the racing.
Yes.
Right? Which, depending on, this is how don't forgive me for this. This is how I judge people, is rank racing series from most important and most fun to the least important. I mean, you don't have to do all of them. Give me your top. What's your top 4?
Okay, do we need to pause it? Well, definitely. I mean, F1 is, to me, it's second to none. It's just, that's where you measure everything, right? It's just the real thing that set it in motion, right? And you watch those movies too, those old movies, and you've got Niki Lauda and all of that. Yeah. It's just
personalities and trauma and like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There's so much to unpack there.
Growing up, I would have said Rally second, because Rally is just impressive. I mean, these guys are just reacting.
This is why we get along.
Yeah, they're just reacting to, I mean, they know the track, but they're also just reacting to someone telling them, hey, 60 in the next corner, second gear, do this, do that.
And if you want to see some real lunatics, look up my Isle of Man time trials, TT. Those folks.
Just go for it. World Endurance would be third in that. And those are interchangeable. Rally, World Endurance, obviously Le Mans would be like a top one right there.
Yeah.
And then
pair that up with the Endurance.
It's part of it, right? But I mean, there's a lot of them. There's constantly, there's a whole. It's not just Le Mans. They have it in
Spa's
right?
Spa's coming up. Yep, Nürburgring's coming up. Spa's coming up, and the Le Mans.
Yeah.
So.
It's a lot of racing, which is great. Fourth one, DTM, which has gone through so much change throughout time. The longest time it was just the German car manufacturers battling it out with their brand new C-Class when it first came out.
Got nutty. They are out there. I compare them to, they're kind of a British version of the Australian supercars.
Yes. Yeah, it's the German version. Right? Yes. That's really what it is. But initially it was just, you had Audi. No, not even. I think you had Mercedes, BMW, and Opel. And then Audi came in, and then Opel fell out. Yeah. But now it's open.
It's wide open.
Yeah. They're just entering.
In there. Yeah. I attribute that to watching college football.
Yeah.
And college sports, because those dudes got heart.
Yeah.
Man, they're not.
Oh, yeah.
They're out for blood, right?
I feel like yours is going to be a little still different.
I have a lot of difficulty with this. I'm very much in alignment with your list. I would actually put Formula One and Rally almost side by side.
Oh, really?
The Formula One, just from the grand scheme of things, the amount of money that is in Formula One and the technology and just cutting edge. I mean, like, who knows what the hell McLaren's doing with their brakes right now?
Hey.
Like, those guys, I haven't even seen anything in the garage, and I pay attention.
Yeah.
So, and then Rally, those guys are just on the ragged edge. You know what I mean? Of actual, like, driving talent.
Yeah.
I would say. Not that F1 doesn't take a lot of driving talent.
I see it, though. I see it because you got F1, and it's a money-driven business, ultimately. So a lot of the drivers, some of them are not the top of the top. There's people that could be better in those positions, but how are you going to kick out someone you're going to kick someone out that drives a great car and owns the company at the same time? But that's the reason.
You mentioned there would be opinions.
But, and nothing against that, because, that specific person, he had a great racing career. you know? And that's really interesting too. You got, and you met Nick DeVries, right?
I did.
Such a great race
He's
driver.
a great guy.
Got into F1. It's different.
Yeah.
You just can't handle it sometimes,
And he's doing great in Formula E. He's running some other things. Yeah, I think he's running also, I want to say he's running at Le Mans with
I think he's Toyota. Yeah.
Is he?
And then you have, even in F1, you have F1, like 19 cars, 19 drivers, and then you've got the second seat in Red Bull. It's a different category. It's driving itself.
That big black hole where drivers got to die. Yeah, that's kind of nuts. But so F1, I would put Rally kind of next to it, maybe a tier down just a little bit. But then side by side would be the Australian supercars because they're so entertaining to watch. It is NASCAR.
Is it the accent?
Like it's nutty. And then endurance racing. I have a real passion for endurance racing. Love all the GT cars, the hypercar. I really feel like I really criticized the WEC at first for the whole hypercar program because I thought it was just a money play.
Yeah.
But man, that has brought more manufacturers and they're in good racing. Fortunately, my Cadillacs are not on top anymore, but we're not going to talk about that. But and then kind of, but underneath that, honestly, club racing. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, like the lowest of the lowest.
But
my God, you go to a NASA event or SCCA and you will see some of the funnest racing and some of the closest calls.
Very
of any racing, and it's guys so much passion, and those are the everyday folks that are out there with their open trailers and stuff that they built on the weekend, and it's just a blast to watch.
It is I feel that too, because you got the passion, you got the hard work, and it's paying off. You don't have the big teams, the big money, and it just makes a huge difference. Even World Endurance, I've watched a lot of the Nürburgring stuff. Got a lot, like specifically Nürburgring, you have a lot of small teams, mom and pop kind of deal. They are not racing to win their category. They just want to finish.
And that's kind of like IMSA.
Yeah.
IMSA I feel is up there with WECA, but you see a lot of privateer teams.
Yeah.
And they're that like they have just enough money.
Just barely enough.
To do this. Yeah. But man, they've got so much invested in it that they can't put their whole heart and soul into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot to be said for that. So as far as Formula One concerned, I have to stay neutral officially.
Yes.
Okay, so
you should do
neutral officially on Formula One. I do have because I'm with the teams in the boxes.
Yeah.
I get to see how they interact. I do have opinions.
Yeah.
Which I will definitely express. But I would say right now I'm really proud of McLaren.
Yes.
I think technically they've come a long way. Red Bull, I feel like, is absolutely falling apart.
Yes.
There's people leaving the team, which I've talked to a couple of those guys that are leaving, and it has a lot to do with the culture and where they see the team going.
Yeah.
Which is sad because, oh God, I'm going to get this guy's name wrong. Dietrich Mateschitz was the guy that actually founded Red Bull. That dude was one of the coolest guys on the planet. And unfortunately now that he's passed away, it's gone a different direction.
Yes, it has gone in a different direction. To me, it's really a lot of those smaller teams that have shown a lot. Yes, exactly.
Williams this year.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Dude.
I mean, for the longest time, for the last 4 or 5 years, they knew how to drive in the straights really fast. They were a Hellcat, basically. They were.
Williams is a storied team. They are a multi-time world champion.
Yeah. Now they can turn fast too. So they're getting there. Sauber in this last race showed some impressive.
Where did Nico come from?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. Good
How?
for you, dude.
I mean, seriously though, can he get a podium though before he retires, please?
Yeah.
Give him that. Just move out of his way. Just let him get it.
I'm interested to see when Audi takes over.
Yeah.
What's going to happen there? I think the 2026 season there's going to be massive shakeups. Obviously, there's a brand new car.
Yeah.
Not new rule set, but brand new setup. There's 2 new teams coming in. Obviously, Audi's taken over Sauber. There's talks of Alpine getting sold to Porsche.
Oh, really?
Did you hear about
No,
this?
I did not.
Oh my gosh! Like they're serious about it. So,
that would be interesting because Porsche and Audi are in the same company.
Well, but yeah, that's I don't know how Volkswagen Group is gonna.
But you got Otmar, right? He is supposed to have a whole team ready to go. He just needs the license.
Yep. And then Cadillac.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
has finally won their bid, and the drama behind that one. I have a buddy of mine from Alpine that was part of the pit crew on Alpine that is going over to Cadillac.
Interesting.
Super excited. He's like, man,
Yeah.
he's really, really excited about it. I'm excited for him. But yeah, that's going to be interesting too. So a whole bunch of shakeup.
Hey, you got two more cars on the track, especially in like tight circuits where passing is really hard. It's going to be interesting to see.
I want to know where Gordon Ramsay's going to put his restaurant after the 11th team comes in, because that's where his is at the very end.
Is
and
it?
taking up that last pit box?
Yeah.
So he's going to have to move his restaurant somewhere when Cadillac comes in.
Oh,
so
Gordon.
anyway, if any of you guys are wondering where the name for this podcast came up with, the Garage One, that's where everything starts, is Garage One. And that's in all of the FIA related races. Garage One is where all the scrutineers and FIA and all that stuff hang out. It's where all the tech happens, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So you'll see me post photos of the Garage One from each race,
Yeah.
as I go through the year. But that's where that came from, because that's where all the action happens. So, okay, let's talk about Spanish Grand Prix.
Okay.
Okay, so much freaking drama.
So much going.
Holy mackerel. With George, Max, Lando, Charles. Okay, his name, I know his name is Charles, but I want to call him Charles because I'm an American.
Charles.
That took me so long to say.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't do French.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, what was I mean, we all know what the most controversial part was.
Did he do it on purpose?
Yeah.
He 100% did it on
Yeah.
purpose. If you go back and look at the slow-mo, first of all, he is not taking the line that he normally would if he was focused on getting a fast lap time.
Yeah.
He came way wide.
He gave the space.
Yep. He came way wide from the apex.
Yeah.
But then he turned his head to see where George was, and you see he didn't move. He knew exactly where that front tire was going to end up and bumped him off the tire.
And the thing is, this guy's talented enough to know where to hit and how to hit.
That's the thing. And that's a thing in karting. I
Yeah.
don't know if you know that
Yeah.
or not,
Yeah.
but the whole wheel bump to take somebody off their line is an old karting trick.
Yeah. So he knew that it wasn't going to get them out of the race. It wasn't going to create too much damage, but he just wanted to put a point across,
I think he wanted to make
And
a
it's
point.
funny
I
because...
think he wanted to tell George to shut the hell up.
Right? And it's funny
Because he's
because
been real mouthy.
he did it knowing that he's going to get a penalty, right?
Yeah.
Go back a week before that when George cut across the chicane knowing that he was going to get a penalty.
Yeah.
So, I mean, George is just involved in a lot of drama these days.
Those two are they are not buddies right now.
So, I mean, overall, though, it was an entertaining race. The middle, there was a lot going on. It's just, a lot of nothing.
It was like a lot of action at the beginning.
Yeah.
Snooze fest.
Yeah.
Tons of action at the end.
Which that safety car ran too long.
Oh, it did.
2 or 3 laps.
Oh, and Hamilton with his snarky little comment about they sure do like to waste laps, don't they?
Yeah.
It's like, you go, boy.
Yeah. Was that?
Get
and
that
then,
on record that you said.
actually, Verstappen was on a run with snarky comments in that race. Going back to...
I honestly think the first time that he had the issue with George,
Yeah.
if you go back and look at the broadcast, I think he was too busy yelling at the pit crew on his radio to pay attention to the cars.
Probably.
And to pay attention to what he was doing. Because at that point, he was bitching about his tires. Now,
Yeah.
granted, the tire strategy for Red Bull for that race was horrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Having the hard at the end, too.
I
What?
Yeah. So, didn't do him any favors, and I can understand why he was upset.
Yeah. For someone that's a multiple-time world
I
champion.
have so much respect for that guy and what he's done, but he does let things get the better of him. He
And
really
see,
does.
you got people like Piastri. When he's speaking after the Grand Prix and you hear him talk, you don't know if he won or ended up last.
I've been in Piastri's box a couple of times and got to speak with him and his team and all that. So there's a lot to unpack here. I think Piastri's taken it to Verstappen.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're very much alike.
They are.
Not intimidated by Max.
Yeah.
Like Lando. Max has really gotten in Lando's head.
A lot. Yeah.
Big time in Lando's head. Which I think is ironic because I think Helmut made some stupid comment about Lando a while back not being mentally strong
Yeah.
or something
Well, he
like
does
that.
say a lot.
But then you have Verstappen throwing temper tantrums over the tire stuff. Like, You want to be the pot of the kettle, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
anyway, Piastri, he's funny, man. He's a robot. He's the Iceman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, that's what.
Like,
Yeah.
he is 100%. He's out there to do a
He
job.
2.0.
And he's funny when he's off track and he's out of his suit. He smiles and talking to the team and all that. But he's kind of like Ricardo in that instance. Like, Ricardo's obviously probably one of the funnest drivers we've ever had in Formula One. The dude's a rock star. I love him to death. And that's a whole other story too. But when he got in that car, when that helmet went on, he was a whole nother. That's why they called him the Honey Badger.
Yeah.
Because he was all smiles and hey and autographs and all that stuff. But when he got in the car, he was a demon.
That's it.
And I think that's Piastri too.
And there's a thing to notice about Piastri. He will run the race, especially if he's in first. He'll run the race. He will keep a gap pretty much consistent to the person behind him.
Yep.
And then at some point in the race, you'll hear, oh, Lando or Verstappen are catching up to Piastri.
Yeah.
You know, it's like over the last 3 laps, they shaved like 0.7 seconds off. And then out of nowhere, you look back at the time and he doubled his difference. It's kind of like, I can go faster. Don't, you know.
100% agree. And I think that has a lot to do with McLaren's focus on tire management this season. And the fact that they have, it seems, quote unquote, some kind of advantage there on the tire. And I think that, you know, he just sits back and he maintains, keeps his tires, but when he needs to, he takes off because he knows he has the tires to do it. I think that's my opinion.
It's still impressive, though, that I think Red Bull is third in the constructors.
Yeah.
And it's just Max.
Yeah.
It's
just Max.
It's just Max. Max is third. And
It's just Max. We could talk about Red Bull driver strategy all day, and Helmut is supposed to be like one of these masters of picking, you know, young drivers with lots of talent. Granted, he found Max. Got it. Okay, so you did one.
He did find Max, but I think you take Max as a person, it was Joe's. Really.
Joe's.
It was like in him because he couldn't compete with Michael back then. So he was like, my son is going to compete.
Hey, he did.
Hey.
Give him props.
Yeah.
Like, Joss is not my favorite person in the world.
I don't think he's anyone's favorite person.
He needs to shut his damn mouth.
I don't think the guy is well liked.
Yeah, he's really not. He likes to be a commentator when nobody asked him to commentate.
Yeah.
You know, somebody in the media did. But yeah, I mean, again, the Red Bull second seat seems to be this huge vacuum, but it's all in the way. Now, cars obviously can be set up different. You can change camber, you can change, you know, tire pressures, you can change on the F1 cars, you can change aerodynamics, you can change floors, there's a lot of stuff. But what the car is designed for is the way that Max drives.
Yes.
Now, you've got a lot of different adjustments the way you can set up a car, but you can build a car to a driver. Like if you read Adrian Newey's how to build a car, he goes into great detail about a lot of how this stuff works and how you build a car to the driver. So I think that has a lot to do with it. It's not their fault. It's not that they're not good drivers. Hell, I think Yuki's going to be asking for his seat back at
I would.
Cool.
I feel like the car was obviously unbeatable, right? At some point.
Yeah.
And that's when Verstappen was winning. And that's when Checo was able to keep up. Because the car was so superb. I mean, superior to everything else. You kind of had that evenness. Checo was making up the car issues, but the car was also helping because it was...
I mean, looking back at Checo and everybody else that has followed him, they're like, why
bring him back.
You get rid of Checo?
And see, that's the thing. So now that the car is not the top contender, I feel like because the car is not helping the driver anymore, although it is a difficult car to drive, it was still too powerful, perfect in all ways. It's just the gap has, and the gap is big.
Yeah.
So
no, it is. The gap is huge on that. So yeah, well, I mean, we'll have to see what happens.
I mean, interesting season.
It's been a fun season, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the last couple of years. It's been the Max Verstappen show.
Yeah.
Which nobody. It's racing. You watch it for a specific reason, for the action and the driving.
And it paid off that McLaren doesn't have a set first driver. This time it is paying off because you have these guys are competing at this point.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I think there's a lot of people that don't think that, hey, you shouldn't have, two number one drivers. But apparently McLaren's making it work somehow.
Yeah.
Because
Hey.
those are two very talented individuals.
Maybe we can get Zach Brown to join us one day.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just kidding.
Who knows?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Hey,
I know. His assistant.
this will just, we'll take anybody. We'll take anyone from any team. No, I might be able to get a couple of folks to come join us. Maybe virtually, because most of them are in Europe, in England. So let's see. So we will actually have. So it's not just going to be the two of us talking. Yeah. We're going to bring some guests on to very interesting folks, around town.
Yeah.
Everything from, car racing owners, car team owners and stuff like that, all the way to, we got some dealership folks that want to come talk to us, and, just good folks, the guy, the Tinton PPF, guys down here, wanted to come talk to us. So with that being said, check out gearthreads.com.
Yes.
That's our sponsor, one of our sponsors, and they are, automotive clothing brand. They're awesome. Come check out some of their designs. They're a lot of fun. So what's coming next? Like what are we doing as far as so we've done shows with, going back to Supercar Showcase real quick to kind of wrap things up. What's next for us? Like we've already done a show with Toyota.
That was fun.
The premiere for the Crown line.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
That was a lot of fun. That was our first JDM centered, and it was exciting.
We had a great crowd.
So our next one coming up is going to be Maven on the 22nd. That's going to be very exciting. I feel like it's based on the previous ones that we've had. It's growing in a really nice way. So Maven is on the 22nd, and then we will be at Garages of America on the 28th. So it's funny because it is 4th Saturday and 4th Sunday, but June 1st was a Sunday. Yeah. So kind of just skip that over.
Hop over that one.
Yeah, and then we're also working on a couple more special events. We should be able to talk more about those in the next couple of, maybe in the next episode.
It's top secret.
Unless you follow us on Instagram. And then we're also working with Gulf Coast Auto Shield on one of their events for the grand opening. So it's exciting, and we're always looking for engaging events and businesses that we can cooperate with and collaborate with.
Yep, because we're looking for maybe some pop-up shows, to do. And, we're most likely to be getting into the rally arena, which is one thing we didn't talk about, actually.
Yeah.
It's not really a car meet, so it didn't really fall into that category. And rallies are becoming pretty, God forbid you actually drive the car that you bought.
With some miles. Yes. There's a lot of them popping up now. There's a lot of, I've always said that I'm still a little new to that scene itself. It's one thing of having the cars show up and get them parking and that's it. Yep. Another thing is having 40, 50 cars on the road at the same time. So
safety factor.
Safety factor.
Right? To be honest, we tend to get a little fun with the go pedal.
Everyone does. So, definitely would be interesting to focus on maybe the back roads that we have back here, stuff like that, where we're not on the freeway too much. It's fun to be on the freeway, but it's also just, you want some turns and some curves and nice destinations, simple like that. So we're definitely going to do some. It's going to be curated.
You're going to have to watch the Instagram and watch the Facebook.
Watch
see
the
what we
Instagram.
Do with that. It's very easy.
Yeah. Started a TikTok too for Supercar Showcase.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. That's cool.
I don't know.
Right on. Well, hey, thanks everybody for joining us. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and we're open to comments.
Feedback, comments, collaboration,
constructive criticism, please would be nice. But give us a ring. Find us on social media, and we'll see you on the next one.
And you know what I want to do right now?
What's that?
I'm done.
Oh man, you've been waiting to do that.
I have been waiting to do that for the hour.
Let me try it.
Okay, do it. It's
like, man, I'm out of here.
See,
that is.
I'm telling you.
I like that. You had to push the microphone away.
Yeah, just push away like, hey, man.
Oh, I'm out of here.
Thinking that there's a door.
Okay, we should probably go now.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
See you.